Hi guys, welcome to Chakra Sessions with Polly Jo Labbe. That's me, your host today. I am so excited to have you guys here with me on this beautiful sunny day here in Western Massachusetts. It may be winter, but the sun is shining and making it feel bright and cheery. I hope you guys had a lovely holiday over this past week with family and friends and got an opportunity to gather together in gratitude, because that was such a lovely way to spend a number of days at the end of last week. And I hope you got to enjoy that as well. Today's show is all about anxiety in the energy body and how to calm it so you can return to a state of peacefulness. And that may sound like a huge task, and at times it is. And it's one of those things that happens to us when we have this fire in our belly. And when the fire gets activated in our belly, it can make us anxious. It can make us feel overwhelmed. It can create panic. And all of those things happen because our energy is pushing forward into the future. And so the more we can bring our energy into the present, what's happening now, right in front of me, the more we can release some of the energy of anxiety. And again, I know it's easier said than done, but it is one of those things that a lot of us are facing during the holiday season. We have more deadlines to meet. We may have more commitments. We may have made promises to more people to gather together than we actually have time to do. And so this frantic energy of running around can happen, which makes many people feel that anxiety rather than the peace and joy that they want to feel in connecting with their family and friends, whatever is the most peaceful for you. So when we look at these things, I study them from a perspective of the chakras. And for those of you who are new to my show, chakras are all part of your energy body. And we all know that our body has this spark of life that comes from somewhere. It helps our organs run, our body run. And when our heart stops running, there's this part where the spark leaves. And we all have a sense of that. We know that there's a difference, but we may not understand the energy body. And Chakra Sessions with me is all about that. I am all about teaching you about your energy body, but also allowing you to experience it by doing healing meditations in every show. Because we all have things that need to heal and clear, myself included. We have a lot of a lifetime that we held on to energy from, and we know that that can be problematic for us. So you guys are going to hear my cat for a minute because he is in the room and he's quite despondent at the moment. He's been very much a teenager wanting attention. So we have been away, and when we're away for a few days, he comes in and he gets very vocal. So if you hear him talking in the background, that is Ocelot. So that's really cool that you guys are there. So hello to everyone. I'm going to show a few people who are here. Hi, Rob. Welcome to the show. Glad you could make it over. Hello, beautiful Cindy Lynn. Glad to have you. Oh, my sunshine Neshi. She's my guardian angel at Star Nations. She has been really sure. So to keep me on track and help me out. And Cindy Lynn, perfect. Well, not perfect. It's a perfect example. How is that? She says that I feel so disconnected, just not sure how to pinpoint. And as we do the healing meditation today, we're going to ground your energy and really pull you in. And that helps you open your connection. Generally, our survival body, the part of us that some people would call your lower self, that part gets so caught up in the spinning and the running around of the daily life that we forget that we are a spiritual being in this body, and then we feel really out of sorts. And anytime any of our chakras aren't fully open, we can also feel out of sorts, and that can cause this feeling of disconnect. So the disconnect can be from your earth energy, which will leave you spinning and feeling ungrounded. But you can also have a disconnect from your spiritual energy, which can make you feel kind of lonely and having to do things all by yourself, and the lack of support and the feeling of support. So thank you, Cindy, because that is definitely part of the talk about the anxiety. And good morning, Margaret. Glad to see you are here joining us. I'm really thankful that you guys have all shown up. So that is perfect. So one of the things that came through this week, I'm going to share it with you, is a channeled message. I, at times, channel messages from the divine, and when it comes through, it's usually for me, but it's also for me to share. So this week's message that I got that seemed important for this anxiety session is let me see if I can get it to pop up. There we go. When the energy of anxiety has you feeling overwhelmed, reach into the breath of the divine to breathe you back to self. I truly, truly love that, because that really speaks to me. When you forget how to breathe in the divine and really bring it into your body, the anxiety just increases. So all of that is perfect. So good, Cindy Lynn. I'm glad everything that I said was part of what you're doing, because maybe there's a couple chakras that are disconnected, and we will work on that in just a couple minutes. So in the energy of anxiety, it really takes root in your solar plexus, which is right below your rib cage, kind of in your belly, and it is yellow in color. And it is meant to be our personal sun, how we shine, how we are a star and the light on the planet. And unfortunately, it's where we hold our sense of self. And in this human experience, lots of times our sense of self gets a little dinged. And we have problems with our self-esteem and our self-worth. And that can get compounded by feelings of frustration or annoyance, and the sense of judgment, of other people judging us and having to live up to someone else's expectations. And anxiety happens when we feel like we have to push past our ability to do what we are doing. And it just gets spinning like nobody's business. So often when you have anxiety, you have this really strong burning sensation, just like heartburn. And sometimes it will turn into heartburn or acid reflux. And the reason anxiety impacts your breathing is because when that squeeze is really tight, the energy tries to move up, and then the heart, which is trying to help out, gets squeezed as well. And that impacts your lungs and the ability to breathe. So it's why when anxiety happens, it can quickly turn into a panic attack for some people, because once it moves into the heart energy can have the same difficulty and start to shut down. So it causes us to, deep breathe in such a way that we can't catch our breath. So one of the things to do, many people will say it's time to get grounded, but getting grounded is easier said than done. And for many people, it's almost anxiety producing for someone to say, you need to be grounded. Because usually the person knows clearly they need to be grounded. They just can't manage it in that moment. So one of the tricks of the trade, that has nothing to do with chakras, is to really focus on the room that you're in, the space that you're inhabiting, and really focus on things that are in the present. If I have a client who's having trouble with anxiety, I will say, name 5 green things in the room. And they usually will look at me strange. I'm like, name 5 things in the room. And so they'll have to look around and find 5 things. And then I'll say 4 things of something else. And that will slowly get them back into the present moment. And that helps quite a bit, even without the energy work. But in terms of the energy in our chakra system, that anxiety is churning in that 3rd chakra. And one of the things that's really difficult is when we feel that churning, some people feel nauseous, some people feel the anxiety, lightheadedness. Sometimes we feel the need to eat because the stomach feels like it's churning. And that's, can lead to overeating or stress eating that a lot of people do. I know I do that from time to time. So being mindful of what you're doing. So hi, Lindsay, how are you? Lindsay is one of my students at my school. She's like, you're telling me. And Lindsay is part of my energy medicine school, Trinity School of Mystical Energy Healing. And right now we are focused completely on the 3rd chakra. So we're stirring up for these poor guys anything that might be coming up for them. And anything that may be located in that 3rd chakra. So anger, frustration, anxiety, overwhelm, stress, self-worth, self-esteem. We're putting it all on the table in the next couple of weeks. So my poor students are working their way through that, and the faculty as well, because we work through that energy. And the thing that I noticed a lot around the holiday season is this chakra takes a really hard. Yes. If the symptoms are in, Margaret said, I didn't think it was anxiety, but the symptoms are in the 3rd chakra. Yeah, it doesn't always have to be anxiety. It's just anxiety is one of those things that people will call what's happening in their stomach. Some people will say, I'm stressed, I'm overwhelmed. Some people will say, I'm anxious. You can actually be excited and it can feel uncomfortable, because if it's something new and you don't know what it is, that can stir up your 3rd chakra as well. And when that happens, you may, unconsciously think something's wrong, even though something new is right. So all of those things can stir up the 3rd chakra and allow things to kind of get going. The other thing that's really prevalent right now is that any connection to anger, fear, or hatred, those are all connected into that 3rd chakra, because it's about how we feel about ourselves and then how we radiate that out to other people. So when other people are, expressing negative thoughts and beliefs about other people, it hurts us and we may respond energetically. And so that can also take a hit on that 3rd chakra and make you feel anxious to go out into a crowd, anxious to visit people you don't know, or anxious to, have to watch the news. All of those things can really cause the 3rd chakra kind of spin. So thank you, Margaret. I'm glad you're enjoying that. Yeah, any feeling in your stomach that doesn't feel like you, we can judge it as bad, and the minute we judge our own energy, we really start to create this spinning effect in that third chakra. And it's meant to be what fuels our passion, what fuels our desire, what pushes us out and has us do what we're meant to do and who we're meant to be on the planet. So the last thing we want to do is kind of squash that in a way that we can't be who we are. So I would love to, do a meditation with you guys to clear that third chakra energy and clear whether it's anxiety, overwhelm, stress, or even just dings for your self-worth or your self-esteem that maybe it's ready to go. Maybe it's time for you to really shine your light, because I know we need all the light workers to be out there and doing their job, helping the planet in the way they are meant to. And when we squeeze ourselves in the third chakra, we play it small. We end up being overcautious, and because we're so worried about judgment from other people, what they think and what they'll say, and that can create anxiety as well. So I'm just going to take one quick look. That is because, Margaret said, that is because I was with a family member for days and I think is in the anger phase of grief. Yes. I have recently been going through phases of grief. Yes. And Lindsay, who's one of my, she said, yep. And she's anxious even about giving healings lately. And Margaret said, and that's not me. Yeah, feeling anger when you don't have it is not you. Yes, the other thing that can happen is at the holiday season, especially as soon as we hit Thanksgiving, we're in that phase of time where people are really often going through stages of grief. It's a reminder of family members or friends who are no longer with us. And it can reactivate grief in a different way. And through the stages of grief, it's not always sadness. There is anger, and there is disconnect, and there is this sense of, hopelessness. And we've all seen people who end up back in that stage of grief, especially at the holidays, because they are caught in the energy of the past. They're not in the present. They're not in a joyful gratitude state of remembrance. They are in the why did this happen to me, which is all very much in the survival body. So being able to separate yourself from somebody else's anxiety or somebody else's grief can also be, one of those things that you need to do, because many of us are empathic, which means that we can feel what other people are feeling. And remember that just because we feel their feeling doesn't mean that's how they're experiencing the feeling. So if I feel anxious, when I feel Lindsay's energy of anxiousness, she may not be anxious, she might be excited, but I may misinterpret it. So just remember, if someone else's energy is impacting you, it's your response to the energy that's coming out, and not necessarily exactly what they are feeling, because nobody can truly feel someone else's feelings. We all experience them slightly differently. We may have a sense of what it is, but we can never fully step into the shoes of someone else's feelings and experiences. So this will also help disconnect you from other people's energy if you picked it up over the weekend, because many of us feel bad for family members, and we try to make them feel better and unknowingly absorb their energy. And next thing we know, we're mad or sad or anxious, and that has nothing to do with us. So let's get some clearing done so that you can be you And then we can take a look at what people have experienced during the healing meditation and see if I can give you a little more insight into that. So I'm going to invite you to, get comfy in your space. It really, really helps to put your feet flat on the ground if you can, or sit on the ground, because you want to have a firm connection to Mother Earth if at all possible. And we want to keep our arms and our legs uncrossed, because those are circuits within our body. And when we cross them, we actually block energy. So being as open to receiving as you possibly can be in this moment will help tremendously on the receiving end of the healing. And for those of you who have not experienced me when I do healing work, I do make little clearing noises, which can sound kind of burpy or squawky. And I never know what's going to happen live, because, what has to go has to go. The louder the noise, the deeper the energy has been held, the longer it's been held. And the noise is to send it up to the divine for clearing. So all is being handed over to the higher presence, and it's perfect for all of us. So we're going to take a couple of deep breaths and really feel our body right now, so that we are in the moment. Feel our breath as it's going in and out of our body. And as we're breathing, feel the weight of our bones, our skeleton that supports us.
Yeah.
Really feel our feet on the floor, maybe our fanny in the chair.
Yeah.
And allow the presence of gravity to just gently push down on you. Allowing your muscles to relax.
Yeah.
So that your whole body can just take a deep breath.
Yeah.
And we're going to create a sacred space around you, inviting in the divine however you perceive it, to surround and protect you, so that this healing meditation can be for the good of all and harm to none, including ourselves.
Yeah.
And I invite you to call in your angels, your guides, your ancestors, all of the divine beings of the highest vibration that you are able to connect with in this moment of now.
Yeah.
For those of you who tuned in to Denise's show, you may want to call in the deity that was present on the card that she drew for you, or the card that you resonated with.
Yeah.
And as we bring in the divine energy, we feel it, sense it, know it at the top of our head, at the crown. You may feel pressure or light or tingling, maybe even some heat already. And all of that is fine. And even if you do not experience the healing that way, just know that the divine is present at the top of your crown, waiting for your invitation to conduct this healing.
Yeah.
So take a moment of gratitude and ask that the divine come through and heal you today, and with the intention that we are clearing the third chakra and any symptoms it may have, especially around anxiety, so that we can have a peaceful day and a peaceful return to the holiday season.
Yeah.
So allowing the energy to come in through your brain, clearing away the spinning thoughts that may be causing the anxiety or the third chakra to swirl.
Yeah.
Release all the to-do lists, the obligations, and the events, and just take this moment for yourself.
Yeah.
To return the energy back to your highest vibration.
Yeah.
Clearing away pain and pressure that may be happening, like a headache.
Yeah.
And anything that may be disturbing your sleep.
Yeah.
And then allow it to clear your eyes so that you can see more clearly. Opening up your perception. Allowing you to connect more deeply to your intuition and your inner knowing.
Yeah.
Which can also help to restore peace within you. And opening up your ears so that you can hear the divine messages when they come through. You can fully hear what is being said by others, and they can fully hear you in what you are expressing.
Yeah.
Releasing the energy in the jaw. Yawn if you need to. But allow that spot right in the corner of the jaw to relax. Because when we bite down hard, we are trying to control energy that is not ours.
Yeah.
Bringing that control back to you and the ability to speak and honor your truth in each moment.
Yeah.
And clearing the energy out of your throat and your neck. Releasing the tension coming up from the shoulders into the back of the neck. And in all the ways that you're unable to express yourself or have held back saying what you need to say.
Yeah.
In so doing, allow the creativity to flow within you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And your self-expression to become more clear and more focused.
Yeah.
Beginning to release all the burdens off your shoulders. Feeling the divine kind of massage the weight of those off of you. All those things that we should do, all of the things that we could do. Giving the shoulders space to move and breathe again. We can pick up our responsibilities when we are done, but in this moment, we are taking time to take care of ourselves.
Yeah.
And really allow the energy to move down the spine.
Yeah. Yeah.
And as it moves down the spine, really allowing the space for the heart to feel supported.
Yeah.
And then opening up the lungs to really breathe in the divine breath. As deeply as you can. Feeling the breath go all the way down into your belly. Where the divine oxygen flows and supports all your cells, tissues, and organs. The whole physical being of you.
Yeah.
So the more you are able to breathe life fully, the more life fills you up.
Yeah.
And now allowing the heart to fill and clear anything that is causing you grief or grief that you have taken from others.
Yeah.
Opening the 4 chambers.
Yeah.
And calling in compassion for yourself and forgiveness for how you have allowed others to judge you, taken it personally.
Yeah.
And really make room for your inner child to feel nurtured and supported by you in this moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then as you really feel the breath of life filling your body, now gently bring it down into your solar plexus. You may feel the swirling in there, and just imagine that the divine is like a vacuum, taking away all the debris that may be spinning in the air, surrounding you and your personal sun, making it cloudy,
Yeah.
releasing the anxiety, worry, stress, overwhelm, panic,
Yeah.
any of the frustration, judgment, and annoyance.
Yeah.
And any old anger that you've held on to for yourself or for others, including righteous anger. Really allowing that to clear and allow your sun to shine brighter. Feeling the yellow as it fills and expands in a gentle, loving way.
Yeah.
And clearing the organs around it, connected to it, the stomach and the pancreas, liver, spleen, kidneys, gallbladder.
Yeah.
Just really allowing those to ease their tension, ease their spinning.
Yeah.
Because when our 3rd chakra is working too hard, then our organs often feel the stress as well.
yeah,
Really allowing the energy of fire and even the element of wood
yeah,
to come into balance in her belly. Poor little belly. And then moving it down into our second chakra, into the space right below the navel.
yeah,
The orange spot that holds the flow and the water of all of our emotions.
yeah,
And many times when we feel that anxiousness or feel that squeezing in our third chakra, we stop our water or our emotions from flowing.
yeah,
And in so doing, we impact all of our relationships with people and with things, including our abundance.
yeah,
So really allowing that womb energy and that second chakra to fill with vitality.
yeah, yeah,
And fill with the fullness of life, impacting all of the senses and really filling you with the juicy energy that is uniquely you.
yeah, yeah,
And then allowing the energy to also move down the tailbone, down into the hips, beginning to grow roots that grow from either hip down your legs to ground you in that beautiful red of the first chakra, rooting ourselves with the earth energy. For as a divine being here on the planet Earth, we are very strongly in connection with the earth energy. We have a symbiotic relationship with Mother Earth, and she is here to nurture us and support us, and connecting our energy fully, deeply allows us to feel safe and secure and grounded.
yeah,
So really allow those roots to move all the way down from your hips, through your thighs, into your knees,
yeah,
down your calves and your shins, through your feet, into the floor, through the foundation of the building you may be in, through all the layers of the earth, rock, and crystal that lie beneath us. And as the roots go deeply, allow them to spread out like a beautiful ancient tree.
yeah, yeah,
Now gently allowing the earth energy to begin to fill us up with nutrients so that in our grounded state, we are fully present in the presence of ourselves, of the earth.
yeah,
And as the energy moves up our body,
yeah,
filling our legs, our foundation with the strength of the nurturing mother,
yeah,
filling our emotions with glorious water. Filling all our relationships with support and nurturing. Bringing the energy into our belly so that our sun can shine brightly in our solar plexus. Confident, relaxed, and at peace. Then filling our heart and our lungs so that we hold the divine feminine and the divine masculine equally and fully within us. Then into our throat, our neck, and our head. And even send the energy back up to the divine so that it may carry out through all the layers of our aura. Sometimes anxiety happens when we have tears in our auric field. So really allowing those layers to fill and repair in front of us, behind us, especially behind our heart, and our tailbone, on either side of us, above us and below us. And if there are any other spots that you feel like got missed or are more in your awareness, ask the divine energy to fill and clear that which no longer serves you. Paying close attention to the third chakra, any of the organs in the upper belly. Giving them love and support. To be fully in the moment. So take a moment to thank your angels, your guides, the divine beings who have been present for this healing. And you can begin to take some deep breaths and bring yourself back into the moment. So I'm hoping that you guys are feeling more calm and peaceful in this moment. And one of the things that occurs is that we get so caught up in the future of what we need to do or who we need to be, that we energetically pull ourselves out of the present. And when we pull ourselves out of the present, that is when our body can feel disconnected. Our physical body and our spiritual body get a little separated. This happens too when you live too much in the past. If you're worried about things that happened in the past and you keep spinning on it, then you're losing those moments in the now. And that causes anxiety as well. One of the things that I've seen, because I work with a lot of people who have post-traumatic stress, And when I have seen anxiety really take root, it's because they are reliving the energy of the past and are having a hard time in the moment. And often people have more difficulty at night. And I believe that's because, when it is sunny out, it is reminding our third chakra, our personal sun, to shine. When it gets dark, then we feel clouded over and we start to take it personally in a way. And that can cause us more anxiety. And I feel that's why that occurs. When depression happens within a third chakra, the way I see it is that, the chakra will be yellow, but there's a ring of black around it. And the black is all the past and all of the programming and all of the thoughts that squeeze that person into feeling that they are less than something else. And it's why they will dream about falling into a hole or having a cloud following them, because they literally do have that around their sun. So you can imagine we all go through that when the sun, it's a cloudy day, we feel more condensed. We may feel more depressed. It can bring more dampening of our energy. And that is what occurs within us as well. So when somebody is feeling down, it's because there is a cloud or a coating over their third chakra, making it hard to work. Margaret, you are very, very welcome. And Taylor as well. Nice to see you, Taylor. So Taylor is another one of my students at Trinity School of Mystical Energy Healing. And so one of the things that comes to me often is that we all have things in our third chakra. I have yet to meet somebody who is perfect, perfectly balanced all the time in there. There are people who do a good job most of the time, but we all have things that, when somebody judges us or makes us feel small, it can ding us. And that is, really a difficult thing. Lindsay June, she said she felt like she was on fire once we hit the second chakra. And sometimes the fire element will travel from one chakra to another. When we are in a space where we have, had difficulty with our relationships, or we're having difficulty expressing our emotions, if we've shut our water energy down a little bit, sometimes the fire will take root. And when the third chakra is in overwhelm and really going like gangbusters, it acts like wildfire. So it can spread to other chakras. So sometimes the water's like, that's too much for me. I'm going to shut down, especially if it's a weaker chakra for you. So when we have a weaker chakra, when it feels uncomfortable, it may shut down. And shutting down is something that naturally occurs. It's a defense mechanism. The unfortunate part is sometimes they shut down and forget to reopen. And that's when we have to bring in balance. So for Lindsay, when she was feeling the fire in the second chakra, my recommendation is 1, drink a lot of water to really get your personal water energy up. And 2, make sure that you're really allowing yourself to feel all of your feelings. As females, we often are willing to feel sad, but maybe not willing to feel angry. So we hold that in and it starts to burn. For men, maybe they feel more anger and aren't allowed to cry, and then the tears burn inside them, the grief, unexpressed grief. So Not that it can't be the other way around. It can. I'm just using generally what I see within my clients. So we all hold our emotions back at different times, and if we don't have methods of expressing it, it can be really difficult. Oh, thank you, Neshi. She's showing how to contact me through trinityhealingsanctuaries.com or trinitymysticalenergy.com. Trinity Healing Sanctuary is the location of where I am in the beautiful hills of Western Mass. It really is a sanctuary. When you come, you feel peaceful and really can step into your healing. We are in the process of creating meditation gardens on the grounds as well, to help you heal with the earth, because some people really need that. We have some lovely trees that are very magically inclined to do healing work. I have a large fairy tree in the backyard, 7 trees that grew together that aren't all the same kind, and the fairies just live and breathe all around there. It's the beginning of our inner child pathway, which is just lovely. And my school, Trinity Mystical Energy, that really is my baby. It is how I show other people how to read the chakras, know the chakra body, and help other people heal. But you start by healing yourself, because in anything that we do, we have to work on ourselves first before we can really help anybody else. And so that is what we do here in some very intensive weekends. We do 3-day weekends 6 times a year where they just dive fully into the chakras to clear them out. And I'm really thankful that I have the opportunity to teach some amazing, amazing people. So I am going to, Margaret says her third feels better and her emotions feel lighter and positive, and she's really hungry. Yeah, when we do healing work here at the school, especially when we do third chakra, people are really hungry. And when we take lunch breaks, we take lunch breaks. So honor that you made room for some real food. And I highly recommend going heavy on the protein, because those are the building blocks for your body. And so when we clear and reward it by building it back up, our body is really responsive to that. Oh, thank you, Lindsay. Lindsay, who's one of the first year students, she said the school is amazing. And that's something, because right now they're in third chakra and they're probably all feeling a little angry and anxious as we get ready to really dive. 20 hours spent in the entire chakra to pull out what's not working in their lives. It's intense, but it's amazing, the transformations that occur. So for those of you who are, following Star Nations, which if you don't already follow Star Nations, you should. Today is Giving Tuesday, and Denise Anawa, who's our lovely head lady, besides Neshi, she is doing a fundraising drive that I'll be posting on the Chakra Sessions page if I haven't already done it. And she is raising money for Gathering Thunder Foundation. And the foundation is amazing. It provides, it takes care of the young ones and the elders on the reservation, making sure that they have, heat in the winter. And they also have a wonderful safe house for children. And today, on Giving Tuesday, the Bill Gates Foundation will match dollar for dollar your donation. So if you have an opportunity to, donate like $5 even, it really grows and we really can make a difference. So I'm inviting you guys to do that. Margaret, yes, I do have some classes online as well. We have a program starting in January that's called Jumpstart. Our Jumpstart program is a 14-week program. It's all online, and it is really exciting because the Jumpstart is we spend 2 weeks in every chakra, and every other day you get tons of information about how the chakra works, what remedies work for it, what exercises work for it, stretches and yoga, as well as meditations. It's just a really deep dive into the energy. And every 2 weeks, we do a conference call to kind of see what was up for people. And we get to check in and get to know each other. And so that is like this really cool thing. We did it over the summer as a 7-week program and realized it would work a lot better in 14 weeks, so that you had 2 weeks in every chakra. Gives you a little more time to feel your way through it. And we have a group that everybody checks in with, and TAs to support you, teaching assistants as well as myself. And we become this little community of healers, and it's a really good dive for people to see what the school is really like. But it's a reference guide that you get to have for the rest of your life. It's basically like having a book. It's amazing. The transformation that we saw just in the brief pilot that we ran this summer was phenomenal. So I highly recommend it. It'll be starting on June 15th, I believe, just after the holidays, so people can kind of, start fresh with their New Year's resolution. So for those of you who are, here hanging on, I just want to say thank you for really working on, the anxiety in you and the energy in your third chakra, because we impact everybody that we interact with. Our friends, our family, even the cashier at the store. What energy we bring, they receive, and vice versa. So the more we are working on ourselves and bringing ourselves into balance, even if it's just once a week when you visit me and hang out for an hour, it makes a difference. It really helps other people. And when we bring balance in ourselves, we help to balance the energy on the planet, which makes it much easier for Mother Earth to transition herself and clear her own chakras. So I really appreciate you guys, sticking it out and showing up for me. And I do want to put up one more time the channeled message of the week. When the energy of anxiety